Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today we're discussing the wild ride that has been Cyberpunk 2077. It's a game many thought was dead in the water just a few years ago. Crippled at launch by bugs and glitches, particularly on last-gen consoles, it quickly became an industry punchline, but something interesting happened on the way to the video game graveyard. CD Projekt Red, the studio behind the game, refused to let it die. They've been relentlessly patching and updating the game, and today it's a much different beast than the one that launched back in December 2020. So how did they do it? How did Cyberpunk 2077 go from industry laughingstock to the critically acclaimed game it is today? Let's get into it. To understand Cyberpunk 2077's journey, we need to go back to its roots. The game is based on Mike Pondsmith's Cyberpunk tabletop role-playing game, a pen-and-paper RPG known for its gritty dystopian setting and its focus on player choice. When CD Projekt Red, the studio behind the critically acclaimed Witcher series, announced they were developing a game set in the Cyberpunk universe, anticipation reached a fever pitch, and then the game launched. It was a disaster. The game was riddled with bugs. Performance, particularly on last-gen consoles like the base PS4 and Xbox One, was abysmal. Features promised during development were missing. The internet predictably had a field day. CD Projekt Red, a studio that had built its reputation on delivering polished, player-focused experiences, found itself facing a mountain of criticism. Their stock price plummeted. Lawsuits were filed. It was a dark time for both the studio and the game. So what did CD Projekt Red do? They did what they felt they had to do. They owned up to their mistakes and promised to fix them. In a move that surprised many, the studio issued a public apology, acknowledging the game's shortcomings and outlining a roadmap for improvement. Over the coming months, they released a series of patches and updates aimed at addressing the game's myriad technical issues. It was a slow, arduous process, but slowly, Cyberpunk 2077 began to improve. Then came patch 1.5 and the next-gen update. This was a major turning point for the game. This update not only optimized Cyberpunk 2077 for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS, delivering the visual fidelity and performance players had been promised, but also demonstrated CD Projekt Red's commitment to the game's long-term success. Music transition. Alongside these technical improvements, CD Projekt Red also began to expand and refine the game's content. They added new weapons, quests, and customization options, fleshing out the world and giving players more to do. But perhaps the biggest boost to the game's popularity came from an unexpected source: Netflix. The release of the anime series, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, in September 2022, was a critical and commercial hit. Not only did the anime introduce a new audience to the Cyberpunk universe, but its success also had a halo effect on the game. Suddenly, everyone was talking about Cyberpunk 2077 again, this time for all the right reasons. Music transition. CD Projekt Red capitalized on this renewed interest by releasing patch 2.0, which introduced a significant overhaul of core gameplay systems. They added a new police system, improved the game's AI, and revamped the perk tree, making character progression more rewarding. These improvements, combined with the release of the highly acclaimed Phantom Liberty expansion, cemented Cyberpunk 2077's status as a truly great game. The game still has its detractors, of course, and its initial release remains a cautionary tale about the dangers of over-promising and under-delivering. Music transition. But Cyberpunk 2077's journey is also a testament to the potential of the games-as-a-service model. It shows that even a game that launches in a disastrous state can be redeemed with hard work, dedication, and a willingness to listen to player feedback. The game's success, despite the controversy, suggests that players are often willing to give developers a second chance, especially when they see tangible evidence of improvement. Whether Cyberpunk 2077 can completely outrun the shadow of its launch remains to be seen, but there's no doubt that it stands as a fascinating case study in the ever-evolving world of video game development. And that's it for today's episode. Let us know what you think about Cyberpunk 2077. Have you given it a try since its launch? Let us know in the comments below.